This is the Pilots News Briefing Podcast. I'm Frank Daniels. With me today is Jonathan Bym from the Pilots Newsroom, bringing us the latest news in Moore County. And you have been following since, I guess, early or late 2023, a development.
No, it was all in 2025. That's the year we just came out of, correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
I'm falling prey to the new year.
Well, you said 2023. And I was like, oh, wait, was it 2024? No, it was all last year. All of last year.
Okay, so they First Tee, the nonprofit that was
First Tee-Sandhills,
First Tee-Sandhills, the local chapter, has been working on something. And you had an update on it.
Yes, they purchased 34 acres in Cameron, which needed basically. It was zoned where it didn't have to be rezoned or anything. So it was just, they went through Cameron just to say, hey, this is what we're doing out here. There's a few things we might ask of you, if it's okay. And then I guess it got approved. The plan got approved back in March, April sometime.
I remember you in your
so
story.
You
said
it was just kind of a strange little, they didn't have to necessarily have anything done. It was just trying to get hey, a blessing from the town. But they put in that 34 acres. They're wanting to put in what they're calling the Community Hub, which will be they're basically the local headquarters for the First Tee-Sandhills, a short course, a driving range, a practice area, a STEM area for hiking trails and everything on this little spot. Basically, you can see if you drive up north on US 1 from Southern Pines, Vass, going into Cameron, like you're going to Sanford, it's right there. On the left, if you're going south from Sanford towards Southern Pines, it's on the right-hand side. And it's just going to be a space where they're wanting to make it where they have a home. Where now they have to use a lot of programming at school, through schools, and they have to go to certain courses and whatnot. And now this will give them a spot where the kids that don't have options at their school or at local courses, they can come to here. And it's going to basically reach about 4,000 kids, is what they're estimating. Once it gets up and running, it's going to have a headquarters with a building and all these things. That's just sort of getting where the grand vision phase 4 of the project. Right now they're in phase 1, which is land clearing, and that's what's been going on. And it's sort of, if you've seen the renderings, you could see from the drone footage they had, it's starting to take the shape of what you imagine it was going to look like. From the driving range area, you can almost imagine where the tee boxes for the driving range were set up. The course, the 9-hole short course and the putting green, that's going to be done by Rich Mandel Golf Architecture here in town. That's not quite showing right now, but you can see where it's going to be opposite of a tree line. So it's
okay.
And so what really needed is community help. And so one way the community felt like it could help out was through Sandhills Community College with the USGA GAP program, the Greenskeeper Apprenticeship Program, and the horticulture program out there at Sandhills. They basically had students go out there, about 35 of them, help out with land clearing, getting the undergrowth out, some of the areas where it was too tight a space to get heaviest machinery in there. So they've been able to do that. They've drilled a well on the site, help out with water, but they're also going to they're going to build a retaining pond that's going to gather rainwater, runoff water. They've got established that Central EMC is going to be their electric provider. They've got a few things. All these things I just mentioned were going to be stuff in 2026 that's going to be coming along with starting to see the earth start to shape for the short course.
So the short course is planned for 2027 and beyond, or?
Yeah, 2026, 27 is really, it's not going to be as much into it as a building out a whole golf course. It's going to be more of a shaping dirt, putting sod over the top of it, and that's where the Greenskeeper Apprenticeship Program is going to help out with that, the construction of the course as well, and just sort of trying to have local buy-in where it's going to be people helping out, or they got to figure out what they're going to do for maintenance-wise when it does come online. But it's going to be something semi-open to the public. It's going to be mostly prioritized for the programming for the First Tee, but also have days where families and parents and kids can go out there as well. So that's grand vision, but they're starting to move earth here soon. It sounds like within the next couple of weeks they're going to start moving earth to try to make stuff work. And because, like I said, the visuals, if I didn't put the renderings in the story,
But you have in past stories.
In past stories, I should have linked those as well. I guess I can go into that once we get out of here. But there's wetlands on the property that also have to be mitigated. But they've made sure to while they're doing all this land clearing that everything like runoff and all that stuff's not going to be a problem right now for what they're going through.
And if I recall in the story, you said par 3, and it's going to be a short course, meaning 9 holes, right?
Well, a short course meaning it's going to be par 3s.
Oh, okay.
But it will have options, they said, where for as the kids matriculate in the program, where if they have a bigger, like an older group, they can go out and maybe say, instead of playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you play 1 to 3 as a par 4 or something like. And just that way they can sort of work on what they can do to make sure they're keeping it fresh for the kids and whatnot. A short course is technically, and even by the way they've designed it by USGA standards, it will have. It's got to be at least 750 yards long, and they said it's right now it's about 750, 760 is what Rich Mandel was able to come up with, and that's so that way, if you play a short course, use the golf USGA Gen app, which is what keeps the handicapping. You can play a short course and post your score, and it helps you with the handicaps. So a whole lot of things they sort of are starting to keep in mind with what they're wanting to implement in this program.
Yeah, because that is one of the things that First Tee kind of incorporates. What's the best way to say it? The main purpose of a lot of their programming is to prepare the kids for life, but they also want them to be, engaged with the game of golf. So preparing them to be able to step from early learning or these early programs into a have a handicap and whatever. I think that serves. It sounds like that would serve there.
I mean, it's like it even goes beyond golf. Like I said, the STEM area, which is going to be walking trails and through the wetlands, and so it'll have multi uses for. I mean, what they're wanting to have it. Whereas maybe like one kid is playing in or competing or in the program with the First Tee on the golf side, and they have a parent with a kid that wants to go walk through the trails. They just want to make sure it's sort of engaging to more than just golf, but golf is going to be a center point of it.
All right. Well, I think that seems like it to me, right?
Yeah, now that's what we got.
If you have questions after you read Jonathan's story, you can send him an email to jonathan@thepilot.com. That's JONATHAN @thepilot.com. And you can send me any questions you have about the podcast or whatever to frank@thepilot.com, FRANK @thepilot.com. And that's the latest news in Moore County.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.